looks like we got a little bit of a webbot update. Not much, but it's interesting, and I'm going to read it. There are indications that the unexpected military actions that will so upset or anger or infuriate the populace of the USA are now being moved up by 7 to 9 days from the end of June timeframe discussed in his other article, which he called Ticks in Time, which is what I read you the last time I had a webbot update, and I read you that little page. And it talked about unexpected military actions, and that's what he was talking about. So that has moved up by 7 to 9 days from the initial time frame he gave. If so, then we can expect officialdom to be pimping their lying experts starting on or about 20th of June. The forecasts for the unexpected military events have a few subsets that pointed to corruption being forced onto the populous US of A by lying experts / authorities. The issue arising within these data sets has always been the unending river of lies from officialdom that will run smack into a gathering wall of disbelief from the populous US of A. From the populace point of view, is that it seems as though the officialdom is trotting out magicians and sorcerers in great numbers. The data has maintained that the officialdom at all levels, including Congress, paid shills, and civil authorities, will be lying their faces off over this period as they deliberately and perhaps more importantly, desperately try to conceal or hide information that is absolutely vital to the health and life of the populace. Now that's interesting, because when he's talking about this unexpected military actions, whatever that means or is, and in the same, basically the next paragraph, in the same context, information, they're trying to desperately conceal or hide information that is vital to the health and life of the populace US of A. Now, I just did a video this morning, for God's sakes, about Los Angeles seeing over 6 times normal radiation, background radiation levels, 6 times that. And as I said, when it gets to 3 times normal background radiation, which would be 300% basically, that's when the highway patrol consider it a hazmat situation, hazardous situation. We are not 300% according to the readings, it was 600%. Chew on that for a little bit. I'm now wondering, is this going to be related to that? Because that last sentence, they desperately are trying to conceal and hide information that is vital to the health and life of the population. While much of the initial anger from the population has to do with closed doors and, not welcome here, forms of hidden officialdom meetings. No cameras, no public, we're having a closed session, we need to discuss some things. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about, and that sounds like it's going to be Congress, from what I can guess, I don't know. So, the data sets have suggested it will be the actual destruction of the documents that will ignite the fury within the populace. This area refers back to the damaged documents section in the last Shape of Things to Come report of 2011, which was the last webbot report in which he was calling that series the Shape of Things to Come. So the last Shape report of 2011 spoke about these things, these damaged documents. I do remember it. I know I read it. I even read it on YouTube. And now we're talking about these damaged documents, which are going to be they're going to be destroyed by officialdom, apparently. Can't let the populace see these documents. Let's get them out of here ASAP. Is it documentation regarding Fukushima and the deadly after effect of that, or maybe the oil in the Gulf of Mexico, or maybe both, or is it something else? Don't know, but I think we're going to find out here soon. And based off of the little trickles of news that are now turning more than a trickle about Fukushima, radiation, and now hitting the United States, I'm led to believe that's probably where these damaged documents are going to come from. That situation, as they, officialdom, are providing certain hints to those semioticians with adequate vision that schedules for their New World Order are in a state of flux. It now does appear that they, the powers that be, have decided to employ treachery / unleashing deceit in bringing to ruin the person provided with preferential status. Yo, sheet's on fire, he says. In other words, shit is on fire. Shit's on fire. Not literally, but just, he does that sometimes. He'll throw out a weird little phrase and he doesn't really mean anything by it necessarily. So they are going to be bringing to ruin the person provided with preferential status. That's the hint we get from this report. The person provided with preferential status, they, the elite, have decided to employ treachery / unleashing deceit in bringing to ruin the person provided with preferential status. Those are all key words in the Webart report. Who is this person of preferential status? Don't know yet. I hope it's not that guy. What's his name? Artie Gunderson or something? I can't think of his name. He's a nuclear expert. He's been commenting from day one on Fukushima. It's a white guy. He's older. He reports every now and then on it. Latest data and stuff. Can't think of his name. He's not that big with preferential status, so I don't think it'll be him. And I really don't know who it's going to be. So the good news in all of this is that the same data sets are pointing to the rapid rise in precious metal prices, especially silver, as being temporally ahead of, and to a certain extent, putting pressures on officialdom. So, one way to consider this information is that a rapid and steady rise in the price of silver will be leading the way, or possibly pressuring, to officialdom breaking down as it officialdom overreacts and demonstrates desperation. Here at Half Past Human, which is Cliff Hyde and his Webbot, we are watching the flow of currencies into precious metals over these next 14 days as an indicator that the unexpected military events will be accelerated in their timing. Look to the language coming out of the CFR, also known as the Council on Foreign Relations, for other hints as we go forward into June in the summer of actual change. Now, we had a congressman here, I think he's a Democrat, or no, he's a Republican, I believe. Young man, I just had the name and it just fell out of my freaking head. Marco Rubio. And I've heard people talk, yeah, I'm glad he made it and this and that, he's new and all, but so what, he's good, you know. And as I'm following him and seeing who he's talking to and where he's going, along with Alex Jones and a lot of other people researching stuff like that, it became very apparent this guy is on the fast track to the elite club. No sooner did we come to this conclusion, he's already over at the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, giving a little speech. And for those of you who don't know, the amount of people who have been in his situation, similar situation to him, gone to speak at the Council on Foreign Relations, have sometime shortly or thereafter visiting, not necessarily very shortly after, but sometime after they went to that CFR meeting, gave a little speech or did what they did, they either became president, vice president, etc. High level. And this little guy's over there doing it. Interesting. Just went over there, literally, was just there. While Bilderberg was taking place, their meeting, this guy was over there giving a nice little speech at the CFR. So, now I don't think he is this guy with the preferential status that they're going to revoke or bring to ruin. Don't think so. I think he's the up-and-coming star in their eyes. So, we'll read that one little part. The good news in all of this is that the same data sets are pointing to the rapid rise in precious metals prices, especially silver, as being temporally ahead of, and to a certain extent, the part where we put pressure on officialdom. So one way to consider this information is that a rapid and steady rise in the price of silver will be leading the way, or pressuring, to officialdom breaking down as officialdom, overreacts and demonstrates desperation. It'll be interesting how they demonstrate desperation. Are they going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at precious metal prices? The other report, the main report, said they are going to over the next 2 to 3 months or so. Of course, that was about a month ago I read it. So make that 1 to 2 months from now. Don't know. We can only sit back and see what happens. That's it.